Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video, this is something I was thinking about because something came up uh, earlier that we'll talk about in the video. The title of the video, I guess, would be, "Are you trying to fool your lawyer? You're just fooling yourself." Um, so, a couple of things popped up. If you watch some of my other videos, you know that if a client these days, if a client lies to me, it's over. I fire them. I almost never get fired by clients based on the work I do and the relationship I have with my clients. It is far more likely that I will show somebody the door than I will get fired. And, there's actually a lot of lawyers who get fired, but, it's usually the guys who are the big advertisers. And so they don't really care about an individual case or an individual person. And if you watch some of my other videos, I kind of talk about the inside baseball. A lot of these firms, a lawyer never even looks at your case. You talk to a clerk, and then it goes to like a paralegal or a law clerk who orders the stuff, and they just go by an outline. And a lawyer never actually looks at your case at any point, which explains why you can't get a lawyer on the phone from a lot of those places. Like, my clients are trained that they can reach me, and they get salty if they don't get a call back from me within 24 hours, which, I mean, I get it. You want an answer to your question, but my God, if you knew what it was like out in the industry, I got people calling me who call 5 or 6 times over the course of a month, and they can't ever get the lawyer on the telephone. But anyway, I digress. I focus on it because it's like the number one complaint about lawyers. They don't keep their clients informed about what's going on in their case. So I try to combat that as much as I can, but it's not easy, as busy as lawyers are doing this kind of work, but I do the best I can. Anyway, so, these days, if you're a current client or a recent client, you know that we sign up almost everybody electronically over the internet. All you need is an email address, and I can sign you up literally instantly. But a lot of people, it's funny, a lot of people back when I would sign people up through the mail, and that was really popular. Some people want to come down to the office and meet, but I've noticed, like, as my career went on, people don't want to have to drive downtown. They want to, um, they want to be able to just do it through the mail, or now do it through the internet. So I was doing a bunch of signups through the mail, and I finally just said, you know what, let's make it fast. Let's make it easy. I'm going to do priority mail. It's one day. Like, we mail it, and they receive it the next day or the day after, and we're going to give them a return envelope with stamps already on it, already addressed. All they got to do is sign my papers where the red X's are, throw it back in the envelope, and mail it. So I don't know if this became a thing for a while, but I was signing up clients who would sign everything, but they wouldn't sign my contract. They'd leave that page out. Now, the reason I mention it is, as you can imagine, I have friends who also do this, and it's actually a good resource. I can ask them what's going on in their law practice, and they can call me and ask me for questions, and I consult with some guys uh, to help them get ready for trial and stuff like that. And, I ask them questions too when I need their opinion on something. But, right around this happened, like, out of 10 clients, I think it happened 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, once is a mistake, twice is a pattern, or, twice is like a coincidence, and more than 3 times it's becoming a pattern, right? So I don't know if this was a thing going around. But then I talked to a couple of my buddies at lunch, and they're like, "Yeah, we sign people up through the mail too, and we're noticing people aren't signing our contract. They're signing everything else, and they just leave the contract out." And in my office, it's 100% not that we're remembering to put the contract in the envelope for them to sign, because I have a PDF document with the entire packet. So we print one and mail the complete packet, and it includes the contract right in the middle. And I think so one of the guys told me that he talked to an older lady that was one of his clients, and she said that it was going around that if you didn't sign the lawyer's contract, the lawyer would work for free, and then they couldn't get their attorney's fees. The lawyer would do all the work on the case for you, and they wouldn't notice that you didn't sign the contract, and then at the end of the case, they had no legal right to collect an attorney's fee. So that was an attempt to sue, or hire a lawyer, get the benefit of a lawyer, and not pay a lawyer. Now look, I'm sure some of them were a mistake, but it clicked in my head. I'm like, yeah, this is happening a lot right now, and it really turns me off. Like, it's my client is trying to trick me at the beginning of the case. They're trying to get my legal services for free. Now, I didn't do anything, and after a little bit of while, that died down. It just didn't happen anymore. But even if you don't sign the lawyer's contract, there's something called quantum meruit. The lawyer has a legal right to collect his attorney's fees and his case costs, whether you sign the contract or not. Like, ethically, the lawyer is supposed to have a written contract, but if the lawyer, can honestly testify that in good faith he sent you a contract to sign, believed that you signed it and returned it, and was mistaken, um, the lawyer's not going to get in any trouble ethically for doing that, because he tried to do it and he thought he did it, and he does it in all of his other cases. And it actually is against the lawyer's benefit if you don't sign the lawyer's contract. So when the lawyer ethics board would review a situation like that, they would say, well, wait a minute, it's against the lawyer's financial interest for the client not to sign it. Like, it's better for the lawyer if the contract is signed. So why would a lawyer ever not have his client sign the contract, right? So you're going nowhere with that, and a court at the end of the case would order the insurance company to pay your lawyer fees anyway. And the first thing a lawyer does when they open up a file in their office is they send out a lien letter to the person or company that hurt you and their insurance. And that lien letter protects the lawyer, so that even if somehow you get the settlement money and you don't pay the lawyer can sue the insurance company or the individual who hurt you for their attorney's fee. So one way or other, the lawyer's getting paid. Um, but I just thought that was like underhanded, and somebody must have been telling a bunch of people. I wonder if somebody wrote an article and put it on the internet, or it was going around some churches that if you don't sign the lawyer's contract, the lawyer can't get paid. But that's not the way it works. I just thought it was really, really not good. So then another way that drives me nuts when people try and fool me or trick me is when they hide another case or hide another injury. So a lady brought me a car accident case, and she was represented by one of these big advertisers, and literally they represented her for 2 weeks, and she never heard from a lawyer, and she realized she made a mistake. So she fired them and then came to me and wanted to hire me. And it was an emergency room only case. So she went to the emergency room. She was thinking about following up. By the time I got the case and everything signed up, it was an emergency room only case. I told her, listen, the insurance company, the people who hit you, are scumbags. It's a low-end trash insurance company, and they fight everything and they lowball everything. And to make matters worse, it's an ER visit only. You didn't even take an ambulance. So the value of this case, most injury cases are valued by how long the pain goes on. And that's why a case with a permanent injury is the biggest case, right? Or if somebody's killed, that's a massive case. But if somebody's alive and living in intractable, horrible pain every day, That can be an even bigger case than somebody passing away, um, depending on the circumstances, obviously. So when even if you want to get on the witness stand and say, I was hurt for 6 months after this accident, but there's no follow up care with anyone, you're just hurting your credibility with the jury. So I explained this to the lady, and she got mad at me. And she's like, oh, well, this should be a bigger case because it was a big crash. And I'm like, first of all, there's a limit to the value of the case based on insurance and all the rest of it. So, of course, we can't settle the case. We end up filing a lawsuit on it. I eventually was able to get an offer for her on it. That is a different story for a different day. It was a pretty good offer, but she was hiding from me. She had another case. She had another car accident, and the other car accident was with a big. It was like a truck ran into her car. The car was totaled. She had a broken bone. It was a massive injury, and when I was answering discovery with her, she didn't want to admit it to me, but I found out later, and it's like one of these things where it's like, okay, I told you up front that I'm probably going to have to pay your other lawyers some of my attorney's fee. Your case is small. It's going to be a fight. It's emergency room only. And it's against an insurance company who they're miserable to deal with. I hate dealing with the adjusters, the claim adjusters, their lawyers, all of them are just horrible people whose sole goal is to make everybody's life around them miserable. And they're pros at it. Doesn't mean I won't fight them, but it's a miserable experience. In other words, my point is, I was not excited to take this lady's case. I was doing it because she was so upset by, you know, the big billboard and TV advertisers she hired who don't know her from Adam. But I had represented her mother years ago, and that's how she had used me before. So I was doing her a favor, and then she gets a big one and sends it to somebody else. Whatever. That's your choice. You can take your case. It's your case. I tell people all the time, you can take your case to whoever you want. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try and sweet talk you. I'm going to tell you the truth. Um, that's not what bothers me. It's that she lied to me about about having another accident. And had we not been able to settle her case, we would have went to court, and I would have discovered at trial that she had another case right after ours. And it would have destroyed we would have gotten a not guilty because it would have made her look like a liar. It would have made me look like a liar. So if you guys have watched some of my other videos, you cannot hide injuries and accidents in the past or injuries and accidents you had that are newer, more recent than the one that I'm representing you for. Because when you hide that stuff, I can't, I need to be the first one to tell the jury about that stuff. And your doctors need to know about it. We can't get ambushed by the defense. If we get ambushed by the defense by an old injury or a new injury that you didn't tell me about, we're going to get beat. Because the juries are waiting for the aha moment. They're waiting for the moment where they discover that you are lying just to get money and I'm a professional liar. They're waiting to catch us. And when they don't catch us, they realize you have a real injury case. And the way they don't catch us is we've got to be the most honest people in the courthouse. And that's no exaggeration. That's how I handle them, and that's how I win them. So, anyway, um, you know, either way, and look, I've been doing this for almost 25 years. I could tell you, I don't know, wait, yeah, 25 years. I guess I've been a lawyer for 25 years. Holy smokes. I could tell you probably a dozen more stories like this where clients another one is a lady who we went to mediation on her case. I litigated her case for 2 years. The case was 4 years old. It was a complicated case. It was a big case. And we got a really good offer at mediation, and she said no. And I was worried about this lady because she told me that her niece is a lawyer and her aunt is a paralegal who works at an injury firm. And it's like she was always running what I was telling her past them, and they were always sort of egging her on to call me and fight about stuff. So anyway, we get this really good offer at mediation, and she said nothing. She's like, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. So the mediation ends. I write her a letter telling her I don't understand what's happening, but this is I've got them to keep the offer on the table for 7 days. After that, they're withdrawing the offer. Here's a list of why we don't want to go to trial. I mean, it was a good big case, but it was not without warts. There were some issues in the case. Um, I get and a faxed and certified mail letter from her firing me, telling me she's going to handle the case on her own. And so the day after she sends the letter, she calls the insurance company and calls them up and says, I'm no longer representing her and she's representing herself, and that she accepts the offer and she wants them to send a check to her. Well, we know what she was doing. I worked on her case for a total of 4 years, depositions, case costs, everything. And her niece and or her aunt were basically coaching her how to beat me out of a fee. But, I had my attorney's lien, and the insurance company knows that they would ultimately be the ones paying my attorney's fee if they sent her a check. And we went to court, and, she ended up screwing herself. And I'll tell you why. I talk about this in some of my other videos. There's at the end of the case, if it's a complicated case with a lot of medical providers and health insurance and Medicare and Medicaid and liens from doctors and liens from hospitals, sorting all that out and cutting those bills down is often harder than getting the case settled with the insurance company. It's more complicated, there's more negotiation, there's gray areas in the law where it makes it difficult or very complex to figure out, right? So the the upshot of it is I just filed a motion for my attorney's fee. And, we went to court, and the judge explained to this lady that now that she didn't have a lawyer, she was going to have to contact her health insurance, Medicaid, Medicare, all the doctors with liens. And I didn't have to help, but the judge actually continued it for a week and asked me to come with an itemization of my case costs and a list of all the liens and claims. There may or may not have been a lawsuit loan against the case, too. I don't remember. But anyway, my point is, administering the case after settlement was going to be a nightmare. And I don't think this lady realized what she was in for. But, I brought all of it in. And, and my former client asked me to come back into the case to fix all of it for her. And, in front of the judge. And I said, well, honestly, I am not inclined to do any more work on the file other than to collect my attorney's fee and get my case costs back, because I believe that this was a calculated move to cheat me out of my attorney's fee. And the judge asked everybody whether the judge and I could speak privately, and the judge asked me as a favor to sort all this out because she didn't want this case clogging up her docket. So I said, Judge, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I don't want to reward this client for trying to cheat me, to try to fool me. So instead, what I'm going to do is I've got all the numbers figured out in my office. I mean, the minute a case is settled, I have custom software I built myself. That's the kind of nerd I am. I learned how to develop for a software platform, and I created a custom program. Um, and you just plug the numbers in, and it calculates everything for you. So, Judge, this is what I'll do. I will auto-generate the offer letters to be signed by all the entities, and I will, generate all the numbers. And I already got the numbers from Medicare and Medicaid, and I had them. So I said, this is what I'll do, Judge, if this is okay. I can go back to my office right now, print all that out. I will tender it to the court. The court can review it, and then the court can order that the liens are adjudicated to the numbers, and otherwise just order that checks be cut in those amounts. And you can turn the check over to me. I will deposit it. I will disperse per these numbers if it is ordered by the court to do. Like, I don't want my client to think that she can try to cheat me out of my attorney's fee and out of my case costs, and that I'm just going to jump back into the case and help her. But if the court orders it, then I'll do it. So the court said, sure, run, go get your stuff, show it to me. I showed it to the judge. I mean, this is an example of a judge who gets it, right? Some of the judges are not, maybe it's an experience, like, unless you actually have represented people, you don't know that this is how it works, but at the end of the day, the judge not only didn't do anything unethical, the judge was awesome. This is like one of my favorite judges of all time. The case got resolved. The client ended up feeling better that she didn't get stuck with 20 hours of 30 or 40 hours of work that she didn't know how to do, and that her niece and aunt didn't know how to do. And it got resolved, and I got to save face. I got to jump up and down and pretend I was mad and all that. But at the end of the day, all's well that ends well. But it, that's why these days, the moral of the story is, these days, when I have a client who seems like they're difficult, seems like they want to micromanage, seems like they want to tell me how it's going to be and what I should do and how I'm going to do it, that's it. I'm done. I get out of the case. I'm not interested in that, and I know what it turns into later on in the case. And I don't want to work with anyone who's trying to be dishonest or trying to fool me, because I always tell my clients the truth. And some of them don't like it. Some of them would prefer a lawyer that blows smoke up their backside, tells them they got $1 million case and blah, 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 blah. I've just never understood the logic of doing that unless somebody really does have $1 million case. And you literally are, you based on the number of cases out there, you're going to settle cases for six figures, or I'm sorry, you're going to settle cases for four figures sometimes. You're going to settle a lot of cases in the five-figure range. The vast majority of cases settle for between $10,000 and $99,000. The vast majority of them. And then you get some in the six figures, and anything above six figures is very, very rare. A lot of people don't know that, but that's the way these cases work. Anyway, I don't like it when somebody's hiding something because they're embarrassed about it or they're afraid. I can forgive that, okay? As long as we have our little come to Jesus moment, we talk about why it's important that they got to be straight with me, right? But when the clients are lying to me, somebody lies to me, and that includes like a defense lawyer, an insurance adjuster. I'm fighting with a doctor right now who lied to me, called my secretary and tried to get her to sign an agreement that we didn't agree to. Ugh, I can't, I will not deal with people like that. Will not deal with them. So anyway, I don't know. This was like therapy, right? Do I owe you $250 for the hour, whatever? Doing therapy with you, telling you about this stuff. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, if you need an honest lawyer who doesn't put up with BS, but who knows how to maximize the value of your case and treat you like a human being, please consider giving me a call or referring me your friend or family member who's been injured. You can reach me anytime, day or night, for free, 312 500 4500. That's 312 500 4500. Be happy to answer your questions, talk to you about representing you or a loved one in an injury case. If you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, I have two amazing tools on my website. The case cash calculator tells you the value of your case, and the good case calculator tells you whether you might have a good case or whether you might have a case that has some challenges. Cool part is they're both free. Links in the description, right on my website. Free to use, free to share. Use them as many times as you want. All you do is answer 7 multiple choice questions off the top of your head, and you get custom information about your particular injury situation for free, no obligation, no lawyer to talk to, but great info. I'm getting a ton of positive feedback and thank yous from people because they're using them and they really are enjoying them. So check them out. Uh, Over 300 injury videos on my channel. You can go to my channel and search and probably find a video on your topic. But if you have a custom topic you'd like a video on, leave it in the comment section. I do read the comments when I have free time, so I'll shoot you a custom video. I'll leave out personal details. I'll make it general so that it's not identifiable, but I'll address your questions and your situation. Okay, so you can do that in the comment section. Finally, if you enjoy the free information in my videos, please subscribe and hit the like icon so that YouTube shows my videos to more people, so we can together make sure that injured people know how these cases work and avoid insurance company traps that kill cases or ensure low settlements. Okay? And that's my goal. So if you appreciate all this stuff and you want to do me a favor, it only takes 5 or 10 seconds to do, but it would really be a huge help to me. I need as many 5-star reviews on Google as I can get. So in the description, you go to that web address on your tablet, phone, or computer. Takes you right to the page. Click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Literally 5 or 10 seconds of work for you. Invaluable favor to me that really helps me get the word out and helps me stay in business as a small independent law firm where the lawyer actually works on the cases. We're a dying breed, folks. Evidently, hiring non-lawyers to do all the work on the case and having lawyers never look at the case is profitable for the big mills that are all over TV and billboards in your area. But if you want a real lawyer doing real work for real clients, I'm your guy. 312 500 4500. Thank you so much for being a viewer and a subscriber. Thanks for leaving feedback and the Google reviews and using the tools I provide and helping me spread the word to injured people so they know what to do and what not to do. If I can be of any assistance to you or your family, please give me a call. Otherwise, I hope you and the family are well, and take care. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.